Ma'am, from modeling days to featuring in an evergreen music video to debuting with this big banner for the first time in Bollywood. How do you look back at all of your journey so far?
I look back with kind of like a kind of shock and awe because for somebody like me, though I'm born and brought up in Mumbai,
Hmm.
I never had any dreams or any aspirations of becoming an actor.
Yeah.
Never thought I'll become an actor ever. Or even a model for ad films or anything of the sort.
Yeah.
None of my family is connected to film.
Right.
There's absolutely no connection, far off.
Yeah.
And in fact, like we're Sindhis, and in general, there wasn't any Sindhi actress
Yeah.
till after Sadhna.
Huh.
So it was a long way off. And
Yeah.
suddenly at the age of like 16, I
Right.
was introduced to the world of modeling.
Hmm.
And once again, it's not something I took seriously, but it just kind of, went on. And from modeling came films. And yeah, things basically just, so I look at it in a way that actually proves the point that what is meant to happen will happen. And a lot of what happens to you is destiny.
Right.
It's just how you manage to handle the destiny at that time
Right.
is what you do.
Right. So, ma'am, your first music video came out when you were like 16-year-old. Like, how
Yes.
overwhelming was all the response to take in at that point of time?
So the first ever music video I did was with Radhika Rao and Vinay Sapru. It was for
Okay.
Pankaj Udas. It was
Okay.
called Sach Bolta Hu Main,
Okay.
which also did very well. But the actual crazy
Yeah.
fame was from Ye Hai Prem.
Right.
Chui Mui Situm
Right.
was the first song from Ye Hai Prem that was released. Again, everybody was new in the except of course the technicians were not.
Huh.
But Rajat Barjatia as such was
Right.
for the first time foraying on his own.
Yeah.
Had an idea of he was very young and dynamic and had ideas for Rajshri films that wanted to take the company forward. So he
Right.
felt music was the future and he
Yeah.
started Rajshri Music. And Ye Hai Prem was the first album, so there was a new singer. He used to be a Marathi singer. And so this was his first Hindi album.
Okay.
And I was new. Everybody else, and Rajat,
Yeah.
I would say. So everybody else was an established.
Yeah.
Abbas was an established
Right.
star. Manish Malhotra did the clothes.
Yeah.
Sarojji did the choreography. So as such, luckily I had a great team, and of course Rajshri Films, they already knew,
Yeah.
how to make a big production, which they did.
Yeah.
So the response, so
Yeah.
none of us expected, especially
Right.
not for me. I mean, when we all saw it, none of us thought that I was anything
Yeah.
exceptional in the video or anything, We were like, in fact, I was looking at my posture and thinking this is not right and that's not right. And, I don't look that great.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it went crazy. We realized when we went to Pune for one of the promotions of the album that we had a tie-up with Hallmark cards. And there was a Hallmark store in Pune. And the store was sold out with all the Ye Hai Prem products,
Okay.
from the koala bear to the greeting cards to
Huh.
the mugs and cups and all of that. So it got sold out, and we couldn't walk out of the store because the crowd outside, and this was just Pune. It's not even like a very
Okay.
small town.
Huh.
The crowd was tremendous. We didn't have security because we didn't think we needed it, but we couldn't walk out, and it was crazy. And we didn't realize the fan following that's when we actually realized the fan following that this video has. And till date, I get people asking me about the koala bear and about the music video. I mean, almost as much as Mohabbatein, I think,
Yeah.
Ye Prem, Chui Mui Se Tum Lagte Ho made that much of an impact
Yeah.
on people.
So, ma'am, people still refer to you as, the Rajeshri girl or the
They
Mohabbatein
still
girl.
call me the Chui Mui girl
Yes.
or the Mohabbatein girl. So
Yeah.
these are the two tags I'm stuck with for life.
So how does it feel? Like, how do you take it?
And it's fine. Midway into my career, I was like, can you please offer me something else? I mean, I don't want to play this
Yeah.
Bikhyari Bahu anymore.
Right.
So I got completely, I will not deny it, I got completely typecast. And it was just so far from my personality.
Right.
I'm actually a Leo. And I'm quite, initially, yes, I was shy, but in front of the camera, I felt I was quite, it was easy for me in front of the camera. It's something I felt that came naturally to me.
Right.
And that's where I felt at home. So I felt vibrant in front of the camera. So it just felt that I wasn't getting, and mostly the roles turned out to be older because they were sad.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, actually.
like a salwar kurta, which it's strange that I never even owned a salwar kurta till I actually did the music video because my parents were very forward thinking and they never wanted us to be stuck in any kind of old-fashioned thoughts. So they never forced us or told us to wear any, any kind of clothes. So we always know what young girls are wearing: shorts, jeans, things like that. Bikinis. These were like part of our everyday wardrobe.
Right.
For me, it was very different to be like that. But I got kind of stuck in that. Yeah.
So, ma'am, you also became famous with this music video, which was a Rajeshri production, but you never featured in any of those films, any of their films.
Not in any of their films. Yeah, strangely. I don't know. I think it just didn't happen. I mean, not to say anything. I had a very good relationship with the Rajeshri people, and they're lovely people. So I think it kind of didn't happen. It just being not in the place and time and the characters that they wanted were probably not. I don't know. Maybe they didn't just think of me, and I was not very. Once again, like I said, I wasn't very from film, so I didn't do a lot of networking. So maybe I didn't really keep in touch. Or these were some mistakes I agree that I made.
Yeah.
By not really keeping in touch or networking and. Becoming a part of the family kind of thing. So I was not, let's say, not very proactive about my relationships, which is how it works in any business. I don't say that that's how it works only in films, but that is how it works in life.
True.
Yeah.
But ma'am, even if you were to be a part of Rajeshri films, I don't think it would have really helped you change that stereotype you wanted to so run away from.
No, I would have become more...
Exactly.
So, no, it wouldn't have helped me change the stereotype. And that stereotype, some people did try to change it, like Victoria 203. I played a completely negative character, black character.
Right.
I loved it. I enjoyed it. I loved doing the photo shoot. I still use those pictures because I'm so happy with them. And I did do a couple of things that tried to change that, but they weren't really. The audience didn't accept it. So they just even if I were to do a kiss in a film, they wouldn't accept it. Though I did a kiss in the Rajshri music video. But even if but in films, I think the audience just refused to accept me as anything other than. I still have those kind of diehard fans that don't wear anything else but saree kind of thing.
So, ma'am, even Mohabbatein will complete 21 glorious years this year in October again.
That's right.
How was it being part of such a big ensemble star cast? You were new, you were naive, and how was it to be on the set with all those big wigs?
Yeah, I mean, Mohabbatein kind of trained us for everything that it means to be an actress, and they kind of groomed us completely. For 8 months. They took over our lives.
Wow.
I was one of the first few people to be signed for the film. And they said, this is, and every single day I was at the Yashraj office, either learning dance with Farah Khan or diction with Vidur, Hindi diction, or doing training with Adi for scenes. Or in fact, even Karan was there helping me with my filmi adaing, different, performing to different Hindi film songs.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I had an extra added burden of being this classical dancer. So I had an assigned tutor to come to me every morning at 7 p.m. 7 a.m. And Tarun Mansukhani at the time was assisting. And Nikhil Advani was assisting as well. So Tarun had to come to my house every single day with a camera to see how much progress I've made every single day. Yeah. So, that's the amount of hard work and
Right.
training that went into that film, and it was tremendous.
Yeah.
Like by the time we were on the set, we knew what we had to do with our eyes closed. We knew what we were wearing. We knew that level of planning is
Yeah.
still, I think, not done in Hindi.
Yeah,
The way
true.
Adi and Yaput did it, the way Aditya Chopra planned it, and the date he said, I'll release it on this date and release it on that date, is unbelievable. For a film of that magnitude, it was a long film.
Yeah.
And it was difficult to shoot, and there were many sets, and there were many outdoor locations. So, I mean, till date, I haven't seen any Hindi film planning
True.
in that manner.
So, ma'am, who did you bond with the most on the set?
On the sets, we were young. We were bonding with everybody and having a great time. Again, I will say this, that again, for somebody who's not connected to films, you don't realize how, you're a young girl, you just take it as, you're having fun on the sets. Everything you're doing, you're having fun.
Yeah.
So again, when I went with my dad to actually meet, because I went everywhere with my dad because I was young.
Yeah.
And when I went to meet Adi again, then too, we had to ask people, what is Yashraj film, who is Yashraj? Because we didn't know. We're not from the whole filmy world.
True.
And everyone was like, you're stupid, what are you asking? Don't you know? So again, it didn't strike me at the time, the magnitude. But of course, once we started rehearsing and all of that, of course, we did realize that this is something that's going to be very special. So we did put in our all. I did work very hard. I put in everything, for the film. And once again, I'll say this for Yashraj also, they're a fabulous, family.
True.
I mean, what a wonderful family. Pam, Auntie and Yashraj are somebody we can never forget.
Yeah.
And somebody like Aditya Chopra, his passion and his technical knowledge and his, the kind of effort he put into the detailing into everything is something, like I said, I've never seen. So once again, it's another regret of mine that I didn't really, after the film, be really in touch. We are from a different school of thought that it's not right to keep calling people and trying to be over friendly.
True.
So that was the school of thought, which is not correct. It's not the way to go, I guess.
Yeah. Now, you've mentioned in many of your interviews that in your initial days, as you mentioned, there was no one to guide you and stuff. So
that is completely true.
Yeah. So do you think if you debuted in today's time, things would have been a little different with all this networking that's going on right now, the PRs, the managers, the social media?
At this age, if I debuted, I would be smarter. But again, if I was 16, I don't know if I would be smarter.
Okay.
It depends on the family you're from, or because I had all the wrong managers, and we never had a proper, like we have a proper, like a matrix or Quon, or we didn't have a proper agency rather.
Right.
So there were all these kind of managers whom I hated to deal with. The one I had also I hated that. And because they were so filmy and so not. So I hated that part of the world. And I felt it was necessary even when it really wasn't. It could have just been me and my dad handling people the way we want to handle it. But so that's the way it worked at that time. There were these managers and
From the time you debuted till now, the content, the industry, everything has changed. So what kind of films would you have loved to make your debut with in today's time?
Now today it's so different. If I was a newcomer in today's time, I would have loved to do something different and not like a rom-com, but like something very soul touching, and then again maybe something very dark and different to debut with. I think for a newcomer to actually show his mettle would be a role like that, like a Anurag Kashyap kind of Anurag Basu kind of film. I would have loved to do something like that.
Yeah. Even the emergence of OTT has, given new lease of life for many actors now.
Yes, totally. There's a lot of work for all kinds of actors of all ages, I would say, even for, even me, myself, I have, now this whole process of auditioning is fabulous. I'm very, very happy to audition for different kinds of roles, and at least people are thinking out of the box.
Right.
Yeah, they're not thinking of any actor or as just what the image is or what they show on Instagram, what they show on So it's nice.
Even I spoke to a while ago. I spoke to Chandrachud Singh sir, and even he
Yeah.
was like, the OTT has been like a boon for those actors who are not even in the limelight right now, but are fabulous actors. He debuted in Arya.
Definitely. I mean, yes, yeah, he
Yeah,
was fabulous in Arya, and
yeah.
and 100% he's not somebody who's not been able to prove his mettle because
Hmm.
not got the correct opportunities.
True.
As simple as that. Yeah.
So, ma'am, people know you as an actress, as a performer. So, how is she as a wife and a mother?
I don't know how I'm the wife and the mother. Right now in my life, I have
Hmm.
many hats to juggle.
Right.
Not only as a wife, as a
Hmm.
mother of two boys,
Hmm.
that's a huge
Yeah.
responsibility in itself. But also as the director of my company, Sven
Hmm.
Entertainment.
Yes.
So we are also producing a film with a very big studio whom I can't name. I will
Yeah.
have to
Okay.
wait for the studio to announce.
Okay.
But we are very much, that's one thing that we are working on very hard at the moment.
Hmm.
And we've also launched a sports league called the
Okay.
Pro Punja League,
Hmm.
which is an arm wrestling league. And plus we have a lot of websites which we work on. Like the MMA India show is one of the biggest MMA
Right.
websites
Yes.
in the country. And the Sports India show, as
Hmm.
well as the Monsoon Wedding show, the Fitness India show. These are some of the smaller
Hmm.
websites, but still, of course, doing
Hmm.
quite a lot of work.
Right.
So we have all of these things that I need to juggle at one time. Yeah, which the Pro Panja League and my film with the studio being the biggest projects
Hmm.
that we
Hmm.
have on hand right now. So both require all, including being a mother with all this online school, requires a lot of my attention. So I
Yeah.
don't know how I am as a mother, but I think I'm managing to juggle all things.
But does do your sons realize that you're an actress? Do they watch your films and have
See,
some
they're not.
opinion?
Yeah, we sometimes they're still small, so I
Hmm.
don't
Yeah.
feel that they can watch a lot of our movies.
Hmm.
The only movie of Parveen's they could watch would be Khosla Ka Ghosla, because
Ah, right.
even like Monsoon Wedding would have an
Yes.
underlying theme of
True.
child
Yeah.
abuse, and so I don't want them to watch that. And even
Hmm.
Mohabbatein has a suicide in it. I don't want
Yeah.
them to
Yeah.
watch that either.
True.
So
True.
they've watched snippets,
Yeah.
and they don't much watch Hindi films at
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
actually.
Hmm.
So they've watched snippets and they've seen like a bit of Hostages, maybe of Parveen, or they've seen
Yeah.
like State of Siege. They haven't seen
Hmm.
it yet,
Hmm.
but you know what I mean. Like so snippets of our film
Hmm.
they've seen,
Hmm.
but they haven't seen. They don't know the whole world of
Right.
Hindi films in
Yeah.
general. They do realize when we do interviews and things like that,
Hmm.
people stop us on the road, so they do
Yeah.
realize that my parents are somebody people know.
True.
But it doesn't seem to affect them greatly. Number one, we've never put them on social media.
Nice. Yeah.
So that is one conscious decision we
Hmm.
never put. So we want them, when they are of age, to have that choice if they
True.
want to be a public personality or not.
Yeah.
And we want them to have a normal childhood. So we haven't done any interviews or any ads or
Hmm.
anything for them.
True.
Any such thing ever.
Yeah. So,
It'll
ma'am,
be their choice.
so tell us something about your love story with Parveen sir. Like, how did the love blossom between you two?
So I've always hated. I mean, since I've been acting since I was very young, I always hated the narcissism of actors. You know,
Yeah.
they're always looking at themselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
That how can a person who's so involved in himself
Hmm.
even look at another person? And plus, I don't blame them, because an
Hmm.
actor's life is like that. To be an actor, you
True.
have to be
Yeah.
selfish. Especially today, you know,
Hmm.
it's all about you,
Yeah.
your social media and your pictures, and how is my thing coming along, and how am I looking.
Yeah.
So I always hated that in a man, and I saw so many men doing that.
Yeah.
Parveen was a refreshing change when I shot with him for a film called With Love Tumhara.
Yeah. Hmm.
We shot in Manali, which is a beautiful location.
Hmm.
But again, we're both mostly quiet and shy and private and keep to ourselves. So during the shooting, no, we didn't get along so well.
Hmm.
And like many love stories, we started on the promotion. Our love story started during the promotions, and we actually got to off the sets. Our mind was not on the scene,
Okay.
and we were free and mentally free, and we were traveling.
Yeah.
Traveling to beautiful places, and we kind of fell in love. And I found him very refreshingly different from other actors in terms of also he had a lot of other hobbies. You know, he also is a photographer. He
Yeah.
dives,
Hmm.
and all the kind of holidays we take always are filled with adventure
Wow.
and
Hmm.
sport and hiking and
Hmm.
trekking and doing many different things. So there's a lot of different things to his
Hmm.
personality. Plus, he has a very nice combination of being very earthy because he is a jar.
Hmm. Yeah. True.
And he's also stayed in Canada for
Hmm.
a better part of his growing up years.
Okay.
So there's a different kind of understanding that he has of both worlds,
Yeah.
which matches my sensibilities, I feel.
Nice. So, ma'am, from all the actors that you worked with so far, was there any one particular person who was an absolute pleasure to work with?
I actually enjoyed working with most of the people I
Hmm.
did. Whether if you would say, I mean, if you starting from Jimmy,
Hmm.
I mean, he's such a real person.
Yeah.
Again,
Hmm.
very real. There's no fake
Hmm.
in him. Very honest.
Hmm.
Very, very, very good actor.
Yeah.
Very, very hardworking.
Yeah.
If you talk about Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh
Hmm.
Khan, I mean, those that of course we were not on backslapping terms with them,
Hmm.
but but there's so much to learn from them
True.
because again, both of them, like Shah Rukh would be sitting on the floor of the
Hmm.
sets and having his diet coke and speaking to the spot boy and Mr. Amitabh Bachchan never wanted to sit with any of the oldies on the set. He wanted to sit with the young kids and then mujhe unke saath mat bitao.
Yeah.
I'll sit with you young guys and I'll talk to you all. So very, very young at heart.
Hmm.
Enjoying their work is what would come to mind.
Right.
And Govinda,
Right.
what a with all his quirks, I mean, he was great fun to work.
Yeah.
Great fun, so much to learn, and also very helpful. He was very not a selfish actor at all.
Hmm.
I would say he was very kind enough to work hard with me on many of the comedy scenes.
Yeah.
And he said, let's do it all in one take so that people can see that you can do that. So long scenes, he taught me to do it in one take and with rehearsals, spontaneous reactions.
Hmm.
So yeah, a lot to learn from him. And Sunil Shetty, I've done a lot of things with.
Yeah.
Very, very generous
Hmm.
personality.
Yeah.
Akshay Kumar, again very naughty,
Prankster.
stealing prankster,
Yeah.
stealing stuff. So jovial, very jovial. All of them, like I would say, mainly you learn to enjoy your work and come out of your shell a
Yeah.
lot more with all of these actors. So I had a very good Akshay Khanna.
Yes,
I had a
absolutely.
small role with him in LOC, but
Hmm.
I really found him to be like a class apart. Very, very, very nice, very well spoken,
Hmm.
very cultured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even after all these years, after playing, myriad of characters in your films, do you still have this dream role due?
I haven't really thought about this question if I have a
Hmm.
dream role. I mean, I've always loved Devi and loved what she did in like a Chalmers.
Okay.
She played two completely different
Right.
characters. So yeah, something like that would be fabulous. But again, that's an old school of
Hmm.
filmmaking. So I haven't really thought about what I would want to do
Hmm.
now. I just know that I wouldn't come back. There's been a lot of offers
Yeah.
for TV, daily soaps and things like that.
Okay.
I'm quite, or even reality TV, Big Boss,
Right.
Khatro Ke Khiladi,
Yes.
and all of that. I'm quite sure that I would never do a reality show.
Hmm.
But I'm very, very open to doing something on OTT. Like I said,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be. I don't want to use the word cliched. It doesn't have to be different, but it has to be something that
True.
I would want to spend my time on.
Right. You've ventured into production. Like there are many actresses who have turned producer today. So how is it to be something that's actually called a man's world some years ago?
I turned producer actually 10 years back. We did a film called Sahi Dande Galat Bande, which
Yes.
Parveen directed and I
Yeah.
produced. But so yeah, I have said in one of my interviews that I remember saying this also that I'll never be a producer. I'll be anything, but I'll never be a producer. And here I am. So never say never.
Yeah.
It's something to learn from that. And I think I'm learning to. I'm playing to my strengths. I am a people's person, and I think I can solve conflicts without there being a fight. So that I would say is a plus point of my personality, and that is what I'm gonna use while being a producer.
Yeah.
Because it's mostly solving conflict.
True. True.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, any recent film or series you watched on OTT that you absolutely loved?
I haven't watched any of the Hindi ones, but yeah, Delhi Crime I loved.
Yeah.
Fabulous. But others that come to mind, nothing really comes to mind. But yeah, I watch a lot of shows. All the recent ones I've watched.
Yeah. And do you have a bucket list of filmmakers you still want to work with?
Yeah, I'll just name all the top names. You can write any of the top names in this question, but yeah. And everyone wants to work with the ones that want to work with. I mean, like a Sanjay Leela
True.
or these are filmmakers that can really present a woman, or a Rajkumar Hirani, or a Anurag Kashyap. I mean, these are all filmmakers that one would love to work with.
Yeah. You've been this simple 16-year-old girl with no Bollywood dreams to now a superstar. Like, what is the best and worst part of being a celebrity, you think?
The best part, of course, is being able to use your voice. I mean, you have a voice and people will listen.
Yeah.
The bad part is, again, not being able to just step out not step out. You have to always try to put on a face, which is tiring for me.
Yeah.
To always have to try and be like proper is difficult for anybody, I would say. So yeah, that is one part, and to always have people seeing you when you're not at your best and say, "Aap to alag lagte ho screen pe," which is like a doodad.
Yeah.
So yeah, having being in the public eye constantly is tiring, and it's not something I'm very fond of. But but the plus point is right that whenever you want to say something, you will be heard. And also traveling to different places, learning to deal with all kinds of people. I mean, this job has taught me that.
Yeah.
I think now I understand a lot more about human personality, and I think I'm able to deal with a lot of different kinds of people amicably.
Yeah. So, ma'am, even social media that is relevant now. So, over the years, have you learned how to deal with the negativity or the trolling that goes on?
Oh yeah, it never affected me. Like I said again, these things they never affected me. I don't get angry easily. So yeah, it didn't affect me so much.
So
I don't get angry easily. It doesn't bother me. I understand that there's people who have nothing to do also, and this is their pastime.
Yeah.
And so even if something bad was written about me in papers and newspapers and magazines, or if something wrong, I went out on vendetta after the reporter.
Yeah.
You quoted me wrong, kind of thing. It's their job. They're also doing something to earn a living.
Yeah.
The photographers who follow you. I mean, I never get angry at them because it's just like they're also doing their job and they're also trying to earn a living.
Yeah.
So my patience, I have a lot of patience.
And was there any bizarre rumor that you have heard about yourself?
Yeah, that I've died. Okay.
What?
In fact, Saroji then called my mother even and asked what happened, this and that. So there was a major rumor in the middle that I've died. So yeah, that was one thing.
Okay. So, ma'am, what's next?
So yeah, besides the things my company is doing and I'm doing as a producer, I have, like I said, a couple of projects which have been, which I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I won't say they've been offered to me. I will just say that these are projects that I'm looking at, and hopefully they'll, as an actor, that part of me will be satisfied as well soon.
We hope so too. Thank you so much for talking to us, ma'am.